name is Bola Bajay and I'm a playwright and a screenwriter, and I'm here at UCLA working on a project called Two Cities, and it's an immigration migration project.
Hi, I'm Alice Twan. I'm a playwright and teacher. I am very lucky, I'm the luckiest playwright to be able to work on the Two Cities project, which is a collaboration between UCLA in Los Angeles and LAMDA, the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Arts in London. Those are the two cities. Bola is a London playwright who is working with a troupe of actors from LAMDA, and I, here in Los Angeles, am working with the UCLA undergrads. And we're just making pieces and exploring the topic of migration with the idea that we will make theater pieces off of our discussions and conversation.
I was approached by a professor at LAMDA who asked me if I wanted to get involved in this project because I predominantly write plays about immigrants and about identity and stereotypes, and they approached me and asked me if I wanted to work with the second year student actors on this project, and it was an exciting project. It's a theme that I like to talk about and like to explore, and so I was up for this project, and part of the bonus was that I get to come to LA and spend a week here with actors here at UCLA, then take the findings back to the UK and then work with the actors again in the UK. And at the end of it, at the end of this process, hopefully a play will come out of this.
It's a great global conversation, I think, and a great way for the classroom to activate these kinds of topics through theater, and also to really have students inquire within and find out what their values, prejudices, ideas, aesthetics are through this exploration.
This project is a really interesting project because we're doing a project where two playwrights are writing the same play or coming up with a process of how to write a play, but we never get to meet. I don't get to meet Alice. Alice, as I flew to America, she flew out to London, and so we've only met virtually in the virtual world. But I find this interesting as a playwright anyway, in the sense that actually you could give two playwrights an idea and a play and a story, and we would all come up with different stories and different ideas based on our own experiences. So it's really, it's no different to that process, and the fact that actually we're going to come out with two different ideas of a play and two different types of material. And what would be really interesting is during the sharing on Friday to see how Alice works with the actors over at LAMDA and to see what they come up with and to see how their experiences will influence the pieces of work that she does. And the same here, as I said before, that the way in which I'm tackling this project here is different to how I did in the UK based on the experiences of the people that I'm working with.
It's the chance to be able to coexist with people who are different from you. And I think that in a world where there's lacking resources and people are kind of feeling insecure about their place in the world, that's the time when stereotypes and racisms and sexisms, the need to feel bigger than other people, and those kinds of Darwinistic instincts start to come into play. The scene that Bola wrote was about a Chinese restaurant that was supposed to be authentic, that had no Asian people in it. Not even, no Chinese people, but not even a performance of an Asian person. So what does that mean about authenticity? That can you actually serve real Chinese food without a Chinese face there? Which I think is a great question, because what does that mean? Is it like, oh, the restaurant goer expects a certain kind of taste, that what do they know about authentic? They just need the surface to look authentic, and then it will taste authentic, which was a very good question.
The scenario was that a black man owned an Asian restaurant, and people were in uproar about the fact that a black man owned an Asian restaurant, and we were exploring stereotypes, and we were using it. I wrote a comedy, and it was a farce, and it was exploring stereotypes and exploring the ways in which that there's a hierarchy to prejudice, and there's certain prejudices that people are against, and there's others that kind of get swept under the carpet.
The students who are being trained as actors would write about what is, what their views and opinions are. So I had them come into the first day of rehearsal with their blue books, answering a few questions. So the idea is, if an alien were to come to our planet, what are the 3 things that you would tell them about Earth? The 3 things you would tell them about the United States? 3 things that you would tell them about Los Angeles? And then 3 things that you would tell them about where they're from. So in this way, we had the ability to kind of meet each other, kind of contemplating from a global perspective, a national perspective, local, and then truly where they're from.
We sat down together, we had loads of discussions. We had like 2-3 days of discussions, like talking about our own experiences, talking about prejudices, talking about issues of immigration. We kind of took that information and we looked at the politics and why people have strong political views when it comes to immigration. And then after that, I went away for a few days and took some of that material and then came up with a couple of characters and scenarios and then wrote some dialogue for the actors and then came back in with a 10-15 minute script, and then they workshopped that script, we interrogated the script, and then I'd go away again and write some more or edit it. And then we then had a showing where we did a live link up with UCLA, which was quite amazing, to see that we have the technology today where we can kind of have this kind of live link up that doesn't have any buffering it was a nice kind of way for us to show what we'd been working on in the UK, but also for the actors in UCLA to show us what they'd been working with. And it was great to see the different types of techniques, because our actors in the UK, we worked on scripts, so we did a scratch reading, whereas the actors at UCLA kind of did loads of improv pieces, and it was just really nice to see the differences in training.
Well, I had them do a lot of structured improvisations. So that's when they would be given, a whole list of prompts, like the chimp piece that we did with the 3 monkeys, where they eat the magic meat and then suddenly they're able to speak Shakespeare. If we want to think about migration, this is kind of a migration from species to species. Like if Stanley Kubrick can throw up a bone and go from ape to, Space Odyssey, then in a weird way, these actors had kind of, from eating this eraser, which was the magic meat, suddenly be able to produce Shakespeare text for 30 seconds. Like, there was something that's like, oh, so going from chimp to Shakespearean actor and then, immediately kind of go back into your natural state. How is that not maybe a dream or just really a psychic migration?
What the actors get out of it, what they benefit from it, is the fact that they get to work with a living playwright. It's not often that actors in training get to work closely with living playwrights. And so part of what the actors at LAMDA get from this process is that they get to work with a playwright, they get to collaborate and see how you interrogate a piece, how you work together and come up with stories and characters and ideas. And so it's something that will further their training eventually.
You come to college and you're just memorizing and then testing, memorizing and then testing. And somewhere you are in there, but I think that this is a great opportunity for students to really excavate and explore through what they're being trained in, which is performance and, the interpretation of language. And so I think that all those things came together in these kind of writing and structured improvisational exercises.